G'day, Richard Musgrave-Evans again. Now this time we're going to be painting plein air down the beach with white sands and low tide. This should be a bit of fun. Can't wait for this one. Alright, let's do this. I'm Richard Musgrave-Evans and today I'm out on the coast, as you can see behind me there. Oh, there we go, over there. Beautiful full sunlit day, white sand, low tide, nice horizon. Should be a bit of fun. Now I'm painting on a canvas this time, which is toned. I like to work on some sort of medium tone. That's just the way I like to work, rather than working on white. And as usual, we've got the oil paint, palette knife. Let's do it. Time to go. Right, now, establish the biggest differences. What I've done is basically blocked in, and I've put a bit of tape across here and measured it because I want the ocean to be absolutely level. I don't want some weird angle, so I've taped that. And just established the edge already and put a couple of darks in, just so I've got a composition, basically. Alright, so now the biggest differences is, what I might do is actually start by taking that tape off now. It was just as a guide to get it level, and now let's get rid of it. Now you can see that's already given me a straight horizon to work with, and that should help the progress. Okay, so the sand, biggest differences as usual. Obviously the sky is probably the most, well, standing out in my mind as the thing that's the most different at the moment, so I'll get into that. Right. Mix up a bit of horizon colour today. There's a fair bit of wind around again, but hopefully the camera is out of the wind, so I'm hoping it's not making a funny rattling noise. What do we got here? Right. Okay. I like to use upward strokes when I'm this close to the horizon, just so the two are not touching. Just bring them close together, but don't touch them yet. I'll blend them later. Because of all the wind, there's a bit of a coastal haze on the horizon at the moment, so that's why I'm mixing that magenta-y grey type colour. That wind is coming up again as usual. Seems like I never escape it. Okay, now I'm mixing a low sky colour. First I got the cloud bank colour, which was kind of a magenta-y grey colour. Now I'm mixing the low level sky, which is a yellow ochre and a blue, so it's got a kind of pale green blue. Just half mixing them in, random marks. Always like to have random variety. Could actually have maybe a little bit more yellow ochre in the mix, so I'll go with that. I've actually got the brace, sorry, the brace is on the back of the painting. I've got a crisscross brace, and I'm finding that when I push on the canvas, I'm actually hitting the brace and leaving a mark. So as I get near it, I've got to lighten off with the hand. which is not ideal, but I just have to go with it. So just half mix all that in for now. Now I'll go up a layer. Again, going darker as I go up. And more intense blue. Right. Now I don't actually pre-mix colours, I always mix the colours as I'm going. And the reason I do that is I find it hard, if you pre-mix a colour on a board here, on the palette, then you put it up on here, it's always going to look different. So I like to actually do the fine tuning by putting it up there and having a look. Right, going darker again. Maybe a bit more. That's what I was saying about the fine tuning. It's a lot easier to judge it up here than down there. I'm going to grab all that colour and put it to one side because I don't need it all. Sometimes you waste it, sometimes you don't. Now I'm going for a dark one again, but this time it's a warm. It's got red and magenta in it, or whatever. It's based on a blue and a red. And it's got to go darker. Just get a bit of blending, but not too much just yet. Now I'll stand back, see what I've got. Okay, now the biggest difference is the water itself now, not the deep water out on the horizon, which is a dark blue. Hang on, let me just get this open. The nice shallow stuff. Hang on, I shouldn't have cleaned that, I'll stick that over there first. Now I'll clean it. Right, there's a lot of yellow ochre in this shallow. Bit of viridian green. It's kind of a lime colour. Every beach you go to is different. A lot of the beaches I've painted on in Kangaroo Island have a real turquoise shallow tide. Here it's got more of an olive colour. Just depends what colour the sand is, I guess, underneath it. Okay. As it gets closer, it's going more of a yellow ochre and burnt sienna than white. Have a look. stand back for a minute. Right. There's a lot of shallow, it's pretty hard to see what's going on there, but there's a lot of shallow waters where you've just got reflections on the wet sand. So you basically got the reflection of the sky on the wet sand. It's just bleached out a bit because the camera's trying to focus on this, so it's bleaching the background out. But trust me, it's like that. Let's bunger in. A bit lighter in tone. I'll have a look. That's getting there. I'll just move that out of the way also. Now that sand is almost the right colour, that wet beach sand, but same colour as the canvas. The biggest difference now is this is the dry sand. It needs to be a lot whiter, so I'll mix up that next. Need to keep the colours pretty clean to mix up this light tone. There's a bit of wind coming up now. Okay, so a big blob of white to start with. I'm trying white and yellow ochre. I'll see how I go with that one first. Tiny bit of burn sand with it. Bad. I might actually warm it up with a bit of a cad colour. Plenty of beach sand, bung it all in. That's that brace coming through here. I've got to be real careful on that. Just go lightly over that one. Have a look at that. Pick up a bit more. I'll just bring the sand up a bit further, I reckon. Bring it further into the painting. Lovely white sand, looks fantastic, so keep it going. Purposely scraping that undertone through, create a few smear marks. Oh, there's this weed right on the edge, but where the high tide meets, you got the weed where it settles along here. More of the brown. Get that. There for now. Deepen the tone a little bit down the bottom here. A little bit darker and richer. Random brush strokes to make the sand look like it's all got bumps and lumps on it. Alright, I'm starting to run out of white, so what I'm going to do is mix and grab a bit more. Clean this off first. Okay, good stuff. Hard spectrum paint, beautiful stuff. 500mm 500mm tin. This, hang on, what have we got? No, sorry, this is a litre tin. I've got 500mm tins. This is a litre. Okay, going to mix up that wet beach sand colour. Yellow ochre burnt sienna, which is a darker tone, less white in it. Wind is coming up now. There's a really big gust coming through. Bits of sand and everything. Jams. Red sand. Right, so I'll stick them in like this laterally first. I've got nice long lines. Stand back and have a look at that one. Right, put that over there. Try this one. Keep it clean between goes. Okay, now just pull this one. Just blending it all together, blend. A lot of blending with wet sand. Wet sand looks best when it's out of focus. Reflections in wet sand. And then the weed can be the opposite. You can really chunk the weed up. I'm putting the top of the weed on now. Go chunky with the weed and it'll really, and then thin and smooth with the water. It's a great contrast. Okay, what have we got here? Now what I might actually do today is I've got one brush. It seems like it might actually work quicker than a palette knife. I've blocked in with the palette knife, gets the paint on nice and quick. Sometimes a brush is better for softening. I'll give it a go. Along the horizon here. It blends very well. Blends beautifully with the brush, but it's much quicker to apply the paint using the knife. And I'm just bringing the sky down to meet the water. Wind is absolutely crazy now, it's blowing a gale. But I'm just going to keep on going. And there's sand, light and a rougher tone. Pull this one down, let's have a look. Down. And then across. Still a bit Only with this knife, I reckon. Nice little short marks. Add a bit of, well, this is windy. Okay. Add a bit of cloud up here. Hang on. There's some puffy cloud chopping through. Pretty hard working in these conditions, I'll tell you, it's windy now. Okay, now I'll just quickly mix up a nice bit of sand again. Here we go. Whoops, lighten that one quite a... It's going to lighten the tone. I want to put a few more of those reflections from the sky into the wet sand. So that'll be the next trick. That was a bit dark, so I've got to go lighter. Now, stop that there. Using the brush to slightly pull across. Very lightly touching, only just touching. Like so. Trying to work in these conditions is insane. It is very windy. cloud just chuffing along, so I'm just adding that in now. It's a nice little effect. Okay, well, that'll do. It's extremely windy. I risk wrecking the painting in this wind if I do much more. I've got the basics. Pretty much tried to capture, again, intense Australian sunlight, and I reckon I've got that. There's a few other intense things going on there too, but we won't worry about that. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll get the camera off, let you have a look, see what we've got. No worries. Okay, so there's the location. And there's the vehicle and the painting on the side. Now let's just pan in and have a bit of a look. Alright, now I was trying to get the contrast of beautiful shallow waters and nice white sandy beaches. That you can see, if you take a close look, that the foreground is quite chunky in technique, and the sea itself is thin. We'll just pan in. There was a bit of a headland and a few mangroves, so I've thrown them in. You've got the nice dark deep blue water on the horizon and all the shallow olive colours getting into the sandy sort of tones. Seaweed, I smeared them, purposely used a smear technique with the seaweed, and on the whole, there's your basic effect. Well, there you go. That was a bit of fun in all that wind. It really came up towards the end of the painting. Now, don't forget to subscribe and report it on to your friends and press the like button. Until next time, cheers.